just reflect on your time here in Miami over the
Man, it's definitely been a great journey. I wouldn't trade in for the world. I met a lot of great guys throughout this program, a lot of great leaders, and I hope I was a great leader for some of the young guys as well. No other group I'd rather, play games with. No other group I'd rather go through, hell with. And I love each and every one of those guys on that team, and I wish nothing for the best in the future with Miami.
I'm sorry. Obviously, your defense played well. Couldn't get it done on the offensive side of the ball. What do you think, especially as moving forward, what do you think we can take away from this game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's hard when offense is producing, but at the end of the day, if the other team doesn't score, we win the game. We don't let them get points, then they can't win. So it comes down to both of us. Can't look at one side, as a whole for the loss. You got to look at the defense and the offense. We don't let them get 18 points. We win the game 3-0. So that's how I feel about that.
So if you talk a little bit about thinking back into the spring, there's all these new guys on the team. You're one of 4 or 5 seniors really playing.
Yeah.
Even then, I know the game isn't how you wanted to go, but to be able to go from there to get here to this point.
No, yeah, it was definitely this spring, especially because I was coming off surgery on my bicep. So I really didn't get to connect as close as I wanted to with all the transfers and all the new guys because I wasn't practicing or playing. But I mean, when we got to summer and fall camp, learning a lot about them and learning more about them is just they have a great group of guys, who have transferred in, and I know they're going to be leaders coming up this next year, and they're going to continue to lead.
This is Nasir, Washington. If anybody has any questions for Nasir.
Here you go.
Even though the game did not go the way that you guys wanted it to, how would you sum up their experience second time around here in Tucson?
I mean, great. I'd rather much be here in Arizona and somewhere cold. So it was good to be at a beautiful resort. Definitely the nicest resort I've ever been in my life. So I wouldn't change that for the world. That was an amazing experience, and I loved it.
Coach, how do you sort of
Just we're trying to get the questions for him, and
Yeah.
then he can go shower and do all that.
If he has anything else for Nasir, let him go. He's good? Any questions for players?
Perfect.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, why don't you just get us started, just your thoughts on the contest first.
Yeah, knew it would be a defensive battle. Very, very, very pleased with our defensive effort. Basically had them at 9 points, in the fourth quarter, which you should have a lead and be in position to win a game. And obviously we didn't get done on offense. Obviously lost your right tackle before the bowl game, and then you lose your left tackle early. That obviously was a problem. Anybody who watched the game of just giving Thomas any time at all. Very, very proud of how Thomas battled his four starts at Miami. Got thrown in the fire late in the year, and had 2 exceptional games. And then he had 2 other games that were probably not super fun for him, under a lot of duress and against really good defenses. But great experience for him to learn and grow. That he will. Had the one special team mistake. Other than that, special teams were fine and defense was fine. Just, their defense outplayed our offense by a wide margin. We had a chance early with the drive that if we get 7 early, we made a couple mistakes. And then late in the second quarter, it's 3-3, and it's kind of how it's going. And we have put together a really nice drive, and we're running the ball effectively. And we fumble the ball on the 19-yard line, and they turn around and get 3 points out of it. But again, we didn't have a lot of opportunities that, we had to cash in on those opportunities and win the game 17-14 or something like that. We had the 2 turnovers. They didn't have any, and they made the chunk plays, And in a low, tight-scoring defense game, chunk plays and turnovers are everything. We couldn't make the chunk plays, and obviously the 2 turnovers were huge.
Coach, we talked at the beginning of the season about how much about the lack of running turnover you had from the previous season, and like trying to find an identity. Did this season teach you a lot in ways going into the future seasons of how you can bring guys who haven't had a full 2-3 years together to come together and really compete at a high level?
Yeah, it's a very, very weird year for me. Like, we had so many new guys. Trying to blend them together wasn't always easy. We definitely had our ups and downs. In some ways, I'm really proud of this group. And in some ways, I'm really frustrated, that just we're learning lessons. I'd like to learn them quicker. I'd like to learn them, so we just have so much youth and that's playing. And again, did they grow? They definitely grew as the year went on, and we did some fantastic things and got to the MAC championship for the third year in a row, which I'm super proud of. But we're still not playing football week 14 the way that I know winning football is, and we still have kids that have to figure that out, and I got to do a good job of helping them figure it out. So we still get too frustrated, we still get too down, we still make too many excuses at times, and as opposed to just saying, hey, the game is rough and they're good and you got to own it and move on. So, yeah, it's a weird year because a lot of ways I'm very proud of this group, and a lot of ways I'm very frustrated that I feel like I could even got more out of these kids and I didn't.
Coach, in spite of the loss, how are you going to use this as springboard into spring practice next year? Returning players.
Yeah, well, I mean, our whole season, there's so many lessons that we should learn, and we got so many young guys that are coming back. So they should take all this. I always say year one, there's a lot of growth. Year two, if you're a player, year two is the year because you learned everything year one, and then you come back in January, year two of playing, not on the team. I'm saying when you actually played, and you take all that knowledge and you put it to work for 8 months before the next season. If you're a guy. If you're not a guy, you keep flim-flamming around like you did when you were a young kid when you didn't really know what you're getting yourself into. So we had so many, we had 35 kids that this was the first time they've ever played college football this year, and first time starting, first time backing up, and they played so many snaps. And like I said, there's always a good jump year one, year two. There's a giant jump, and we need to make it.
Was there something that Fresno was doing defensively in the second half?
That's why they run their stuff. They didn't do anything we weren't prepared for. They do what they do. They do it really well. They play really hard. They mix up, their defense. They're basically a man team, but they mix up some things, and they do some disguising. It's not really. They don't live and die by trying to disguise you. A lot of times they line up and just play football and try to whip your tail. Obviously, we had a hard time blocking them in the second half. I mean, we didn't. Thomas didn't we had guys open. There's some big plays out there that we left on the field. We never got the ball thrown. But we had some new guys, we had a guard playing tackle. We had a tackle playing really for the first time in his career, most of the game, which great experience for him. But it was, we had a rough day at the office. So credit to them. They outplayed us and deserved to win the game.
Do you feel like the fumble in the second quarter maybe shifted momentum a little bit?
Probably a little. Just the biggest thing is we weren't going to have that many opportunities. We knew that. We weren't going to have that many times we got the ball down there. We got the ball down to 10. We were rolling on the first drive, and we shot ourselves. There's 2 plays in a row that we didn't see what they were doing and weren't in a good play and didn't execute on offense. And then that drive, we're really doing a good job running the football, and we got to punch that in and go up 10-3 at half, and you feel great. And so I definitely agree it shifted momentum and gave them some life, but we just weren't going to get in the plus territory many times against that defense, so we knew we had to cash in, and we come away at no points, and then they hit a slant route, and next thing they got 3 points and out of it, and so big shift right there. Obviously, we knew turnovers would be critical in this game. It's two teams playing field position and defense, and turnovers mean a lot, and we had 2 of them.
You were concerned a little bit about the long snapping coming into the game that ended up being something that hurt you. Did you feel like that was maybe a momentum shift?
Yeah, it gave them 3 points. Our defense did a great job. They got the ball in the 11 or whatever, and our defense stuffed them and gave them 3 points. That's, 3 more points. So, yeah, it was we got a young guy. He was hurt all year. He didn't dress. This first game he ever dressed was this game. He was hurt in high school, and he's a true freshman. He's really talented. The best thing is he really wanted to be out there. Like a lot of kids be like, so we were going to dress and be the backup, and then obviously our starter is moving on. So he got thrown in the fire. he had one bad snap, but he, for the most part, he did a pretty good job for the situation. So, but again, great opportunity for him, and he took it on. He was excited to do it, and yeah, he made some mistakes, but he'll be better from in the future. So that's why I say, like, yeah, you got to play some guys that, because guys leave in the portal and all that. I get it, but still opportunities for kids to go play, and he's a tough kid. This will be a great experience for him.
Of course, you would like to win, but how would you describe the experience of being in the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl over the last 2 years?
It's amazing. It's a great bowl. All the bowls are great. I love them all. I've never had a bad experience bowl, but this is as good as it's been for me personally, and I think for our group. The fact the city owns a bowl, the hospitality, and again, everybody treats you great, but it is above and beyond here. Like, everywhere you turn, somebody wants to know if you need something. I mean, at times I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, but I really appreciate and the relationships that we built with a lot of really awesome people. It's nice to see people year two. It's fun to, So obviously the accommodations are amazing. We had probably the worst day of your winter. Our second day we got here, we had bad weather day, but the other days were amazing. Today was amazing. So it's a great bowl. And then obviously the interaction with Snoop it's a big deal to a lot of people, and not just the players. Like, there's a lot of adults that is pretty starry-eyed to just be close to Snoop. And like I said, his generosity with his time, the fact that he sponsors the bowl is amazing. I know he loves football, but then he comes and he goes in the locker room. He spends a lot of time with our kids in the locker room. If you see the look on their eyes when he's sitting up there holding court, it's you can't get a backstage pass to Snoop's concert. That ain't very easy to do. And he's in the locker room and he's it's not just hi, hello. He's interacting with our kids, and then just the game and the DJ and all things. Like, my boss said last year is right. It's like kind of just the funnest football game we've ever been a part of. Just fun atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's just the stadium's very alive, and so from start to finish, it's first class. It's a lot of fun. It's an amazing place. The weather, obviously, if you come from the Midwest, is pretty nice. We went to play golf the first day, and they applauded us like they thought we were insane. It was 55 and raining. They were dressed, with ski masks on and scarves, and like, I had a golf shirt on. I was good. Like, there's like, they applauded us when we got through 18. I was like, we didn't think you'd make it through it. I'm like, it was the guys like this isn't bad. They thought it was a torrential downpour. We thought it was drizzling. So everything. There's nothing. I don't have anything in 2 years here. We said last year we'd love to come back. I doubt we'll get a chance to come back a third straight year, but we would accept. Like, we would, and appreciate that they even gave us the opportunity. So.
In the world that we live in of opt-outs and transfers, how do you get your team ready for a bowl game when you have those players?
It's not hard. It's just new guys are going to get to play, and sometimes, there's some things today we wish we had those, but everybody goes through that. To me, it's I know there's a lot of, it's a little crazy in college football now, and I know there's a lot of negativity. I don't see it. I just, there's some guys that play today that didn't play great, but they got to play, and they got more years of eligibility, and like, what they do with this, what they do with the lessons they learned today is up to them. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but like, some guy leaves, somebody else gets to play. Like, that's why I look at it. We got plenty of guys that are dying to play. There's guys that didn't get to play today that wish that, so to me, there's always, I don't look at the guys that are leaving and the opt-outs and everybody's got to do what they want to do. I get it. That's the world we're living in right now. It's kind of crazy, chaotic, but I just hey, who's here? You're going to get to play. Do you want to play? Yeah. Like, I've been wanting to play all year. This is my chance, Then be careful what you wish for sometimes. You get out there, it's not, but again, you got to have that first experience. So, it's just like injuries. We had a ton of injuries this year. It's like, I always say, I feel terrible for the guys that got hurt. We had some guys lost for the year. We're sitting, we had seniors sitting there in dress, street clothes today, but I'm never sad for the guy that gets that chance. That was the backup, that it's his time, to go. So I think the bowls are awesome. I know, for the big schools, I know if they can't get in the college football playoff, it's kind of anticlimactic. I totally get that. I coached at Notre Dame. But for the rest of us, they're amazing. They're amazing experiences. And everybody said, these bowls are useless, and come to a bowl game and spend the time with see the kids and the activities and the competition the other night, and kids are it's amazing. And then the families get to come to a nice place like this and be part of like any, like I've had a couple alums that hadn't been to bowl game in a while, and like they were kind of on these bowl games are a waste of time. And then they were here for 3 days this week, and they're like, yeah, this is amazing. Like, this is a whole great experience. And even they had a great experience, you know what I mean? It was amazing for them. And then, but they saw our kids and what the opportunity, and then you get to play another game. And like, the opportunity, I get opted out if you're going to be a first round pick in the NFL and you hurt your knee, you're going to call, like, I get that, you know, like, not playing football when you got a chance to play football, not coaching, like, I don't get that. Like, you got a chance to play football. This is what we love. This is what we do. This, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, I'm going to opt out. Yeah, if you're somebody that's got a lot to lose, I totally get it. But there's no guarantees we're going to be around next year. You know what I mean? And I just think I didn't play, you know, then I get in a car accident. I don't get to play football ever again. I turned down a game I could have played in. Like, I love football. Like, I don't, to me, you don't love football then. Like, you're, you know. So, like I said, I get those first rounders. They got it. I mean, they got to be smart. They can't get hurt in a bowl game. It's not the college football playoff. They're going to be a first round. It could cost them a lot of dough, you know. And that's. But the rest of us, let's go play football. And if we get to play it at Snoop Bowl in Arizona, it's a lot more fun. Go ahead.
I know I spent a lot of time for Miami talking to different parents today of players, and I think one thing that really stuck out to me is how much they talk about like how great of a culture you're building and what you do as far as the development of your players off the field and on the field. In what ways is culture a big selling point when you recruit and how you build that culture at Miami?
Yeah, I think everybody's looking for the right fit. I think we're really genuine and honest. I think that's one of our strengths. I'm not very political. I'm not phony. I'm not trying to gain friends. I think we've built a staff of quality human beings and support staff of quality human beings, and we try to push and challenge these kids to be great at everything they do, you know. And that's why I'm frustrated this year. It's hard for me because we're so young. Like, a lot of the kids, they're like freshmen, like, you know what I mean? But they had to play, you know. It's a different time with this portal. A lot of young kids play now, and that's why college football is kind of, you know, teams have great weeks and bad. We're all going through it, and I just got to get used to that. Because they have grown a lot, but like, we're going to push and challenge you to be great. Like, we're not trying to sell anything fancy. Like, everything we do every day is to try to help you be great. And I always say, like, I have my bad days like anyone, but I'm trying to be great for you every day. And I'm trying to find competitive people that want to be great in the classroom and have a great life after football and take advantage of getting an education. I know a lot of kids get in the portal, so that's becoming less of a thing. You know, what about the Miami degree? Like, we used to sell the heck out of that, you know. Now they want to be Reggie Virgil, the receiver left last year for $1 million. Like, yeah, the Miami degree is great. Can I be Reggie, though? You know, like I want to be that guy. Like, I got you. Like, you know, I can work hard for Miami degree and I make $80,000 my first year. Reggie just made $100,000 playing college, or $1 million playing college football. So I get that, but we're still, most of the kids are going to stay, and a lot of them are going to get their degree. You know, it's, everybody talks about, but not everybody gets in the portal. Not everybody leaves. Not, you know, and so for the right kid, it's a really good fit, and we've had a lot of success on the field forever, and we've had a lot of success off the field, and we're trying to build good people that, you know, like, that's the beauty of sports. Like, when it's 18-3 in the fourth quarter, it's hard, and they're celebrating, and you got to watch them celebrate, you know, and they're rubbing it in your face. They're not rubbing your face. We celebrated last year. We're not even thinking about the guy, but it feels that way, you know what I mean? It feels like, but that's the beauty of sports. Like, you really get to go through some hard times, and you can learn a lot of lessons, because life doesn't get any easier. So a lot of people go through life and never have anybody kind of waving to them at the end of a game. You know, it's like dumping the cooler on their coach, or just, well, they did that to me last year. You know, we were on the other side of it. And so we're trying to help these young men grow to be great husbands, great fathers, great mentors, great everything. And that's every day, and great football players.